Right now, we're turning to the state of Idaho, where this morning we've got some brand new developments in the case against defendant Bryan Kohberger. The judge has now ruled that Kohberger's defense team can resume the phone surveys of potential jurors in the case. This after prosecutors raised the issue, saying that the questioning of these prospective jurors violates the judge's gag order and could prejudice the people who could be called to serve as jurors once the case goes to trial. But in this ruling, the judge said the survey does not violate his gag order and that most of the questions included information already publicly available through court documents. We know Kohberger is facing 4 murder charges in connection with the November 2022 stabbing deaths of Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee, I'm sorry, let me start again. I got mixed up with what I was reading and what I was seeing on the screen. We've got Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle. Got all of that out. And look at their beautiful faces on the TV. It's important to remember that with everything going on with him, these 4 people are what this case is about. It is Crime Victims' Rights Week in the United States. And will these 4 beautiful young people get justice? We'll see. We know we heard some big news recently with what the Kohberger alibi is. Apparently, he says he was out there stargazing all by himself when those 4 beautiful children were being slaughtered. Let's talk about that. I have a tremendous guest on the program. He's a retired DEA supervisory special agent, owns his own consulting and training firm now. Michael T. Wilhite Sr. is with us. Good morning, Michael. Nice to see you. I want to show you some of what the defense filed with their notice of alibi. Take a look at this. They say Mr. Kohberger was out driving in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, as he often did, to hike and run and/or to see the moon and the stars. So he's out in his Kohberger mobile, alone, driving around. The motion goes on to say he's taking pictures of the stars. Nobody's with him. Nobody else is stargazing, and apparently he's got some photos of the sky to produce. Well, that's all fine and good. But, Michael, during the hour that police say the murders occurred, during the window of time where they say those children were killed, Kohberger shuts his phone off and then powers it back up a little later. Your thoughts on whether this stargazing alibi is going to make any sense for the jury?
Julie, I'm sure he was stargazing. I'm sure he was roaming all by himself in dark 30 of the night or early in the morning, because he was looking for a victim. He was looking for his victims. He found his victims, shut the phone off, and, you know, obviously that's where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got this alibi where no one else can be called as a witness. Mm-hmm. Where the digital footprint supports it only in part, only in what happened before the homicides and after the homicides, but right in that window, we don't have it. Michael, do you think he would have been better off saying nothing? I mean, and I'm not criticizing the defense. I mean, look, they're trying to save his life. I get that this is a death penalty case. They're going to do everything they can, but I'm just wondering if this is where to put the effort. If there isn't a witness, somebody, something digital, video that can say, look, during these hours, it would have been impossible for him to commit the crime. Maybe just don't address that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, he's not aware, he's not familiar with Oliver North. Mm-hmm. Senator, I do not recall. I'm taking the 5th. Mm-hmm. So obviously, he doesn't. You know, he's stargazing, all right. He wants to be a star. He wants to make his presence known. He wants the attention, the media attention, and this case has truly gotten a lot of media attention. And the reality is, and one reason, because, you know, living on a campus in this college community, you're living in a bubble. So everybody sees what everybody knows what everybody's doing. And he was stargazing. He was searching for. He was on the prowl, like a predator. He's on the prowl for his victim, for his prey. And unfortunately he found 4 young, beautiful people to enact his evilness on.
Mm-hmm. I like what you said there about stargazing, looking for those Beautiful victims, those kids who were totally innocent. They're in their house, living their best lives as college kids, and then here we go with this now. The judge's ruling, Michael, I want to turn to this about the defense team is calling up people that, could be summoned for jury duty, asking them questions. Apparently the judge is saying, look, this doesn't violate the gag order. These are things that are in the public record, things we've heard in open court. I've got a clip I want to play for you now where they talk about some of those questions on the record. Let's watch.
We had a person come to us who had received one of these calls, had actually recorded the call. And so our office prepared a transcript, and that was attached as Exhibit B, I believe, to our motion for order prohibiting contact. In addition to generic questions about the criminal justice system, here's where we get to things that concern the state immensely. Question: have you read, seen, or heard if Bryan Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania? Question: have you read, seen, or heard if police found a knife sheath on the bed next to one of the victims? Question: have you read, seen, or heard that DNA found on the knife sheath was later matched to Bryan Kohberger? Question: have you read, seen, or heard if Bryan Kohberger owned the same type of car recorded on video driving in the neighborhood where the killings occurred? Have you seen, read, seen, or heard if the cell phone tower data showed that Bryan Kohberger made several trips near the victim's home in the month before the killing? Have you read, seen, or heard if the university students in Moscow and their parents lived in fear until Bryan Kohberger was arrested for the murders? Have you read, seen, or heard if Bryan Kohberger said that he was out driving alone on the night of the murders? Have you read, seen, or heard if Bryan Kohberger stalked one of the victims? Have you read, seen, or heard if Bryan Kohberger had followed one of the victims on social media? Your Honor, there is absolutely no question but that those questions are disseminating by means of communication evidence expected to be presented, evidence that could be or would be inadmissible at trial. And I will say there are a number of these representations placed in the form of a question, but representations of fact that are not true or that would not be offered at trial.
Okay, so there's the prosecutor handling this, going through those questions. Michael, at the end of the day, do you think this is the right ruling by the court to say, you know what, go ahead, survey these people. This is stuff that's out there anyways, not in violation of the gag order?
Both sides have a point. Some of those questions, based on just your footage there, some of these questions and allegedly are out in the public. Yes. But the same token, from what I can tell from my experience, that does violate the gag order. So that's going to be tough. Not only that, you're in a, like I mentioned before, you're in a fishbowl in that community, in that college community. So again, if anyone hasn't heard about this case, heard those questions, heard the response to those questions, or those allegedly alluding to those things, have been living under a rock somewhere. And unfortunately, that can prejudice the jury, because you're going to find it's going to be tough finding 12 people in that community that doesn't have a strong opinion about what happened.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a great point, Michael. I've often thought about this, whether it's going to serve everybody better if they move this trial somewhere else. We know everybody's heard things about it. You'd have to be living on another planet to not. But as you know, hearing about it isn't the standard. It's being fair. Can someone be fair, even having consumed news, court TV, a shameless plug, all of that? Can you just be fair and impartial? So like you said, this community, it's tiny. People have felt this. It's changed their lives. So it may be best for everyone, especially if the state is confident they can get a conviction so this doesn't come back on appeal. We know they're pursuing a capital case here against Bryan Kohberger.